Hello everyone, it's Olivia Grace. I'm back with another video for you guys. I am a manifestation coach, helping people get through their limits and blocks to bring their desires into reality. So today we're talking about signs and synchronicities. This is something that it's kind of like one of the first things that you start to experience when you begin awakening is the repeating signs, the repeating numbers, 1111, 111, 333, all these things. And there's a lot of different thoughts about what they mean and all that. And I am going to attach a kind of like a chart that has what they all individually mean, what the different numbers mean. But I wanted to talk a little bit more in detail with you guys and tell you what I think that they mean. And it's not what you probably expect. So honestly, I don't think that, like, a lot of people will be like, oh, you know, okay, I'll just use myself for example. Like last year when I was trying to manifest myself quitting my job, I asked for a sign one day. I said, universe, if I'm going to be able to quit my job by September this year, then send me like a rainbow. I want to see a rainbow. And so that day I saw like 2 rainbows and I was so happy. I was so like, I'm actually in tears with joy that, wow, this means like that I'm going to be able to quit my job, you know, in September. And that's not actually what happened. It doesn't, like, signs, you're seeing the sign because you're giving attention to that thing. And it's the same thing with the synchronicities, especially once you start to notice synchronicities, you'll notice more and more and more and more. You start to see 1111, then it's like the angel numbers are following you. You're like out, you see it on a license plate. I probably see at least like 20 different angel numbers, synchronizations or synchronicities or whatever every single day. And it's because I give attention to that. So that's where they really come from, you guys. They're coming from you creating them, just like everything else. The universe is not really giving you something to signify something else. Now you can believe that because sometimes that can serve you, you know, and again, everything is your belief. Nothing really inherently means anything. It's what you decide that it believes. And it's what you decide that it means. And that belief that you give to it, that meaning that you give to it is what it starts to mean. So the first thing to know is that you created them. So from that, what can you do with that? So you can give them meaning. You can decide what you want it to mean. For me, when I see synchronicities, every time, because I see it so often, I decided, well, I can make it mean whatever I want it to mean. Instead of just like, oh, wow, that's, you know, I've seen 111 for the 13th time today, you know, instead of just, wow, that's so cool. I can decide to make it mean something for me. So I can say, okay, every time I see a repeating number, then that means that something is coming to me. You know, that means that for me, I say it means that I'm in my God state. It means that I'm in my preferred reality. And that's just something to affirm to myself to keep that in mind. It doesn't actually mean that. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. It means that because I said it means that. So now when I see that, that's the meaning that I associate it with. So it means that. But it doesn't, that's not, just because that's what it means for me doesn't mean that's what it means for everybody, right? A lot of people think that, okay, you know, when I see these things, it means my ancestors are around me, angels are surrounding me. That is a belief that serves you. You know, that's something that's good to believe. It's good to believe that, whether it's true. I mean, there's no true. This is what I'm really trying to say. There's no official stamp on it like this means that. Everything just means what you associate it to mean. So like I said, for you, or another thing that you can do is say, okay, every time I see repeating numbers, it means that money's coming to me. I know we all see those posts where they're like, oh, this is a sign, your money's coming. I don't know how often you actually get money after you see those things. And here's why. the sign, like I said, is just a manifestation of something you're giving your attention to. It's not really anything other than that. So if the sign doesn't change your state, then you cannot manifest something different, right? So let's say I'm feeling really broke and I see one of those posts that's like, oh, don't ignore this. It's 333, money's coming to you. And I'm like, wow, okay, money's coming to me. But my state is still that of lack. My state is still that of being broke. My state is still that of not having what I want. So just because I saw this thing doesn't mean that my state is going to change. Now, when you use it the way that I just explained to use it, which is to make it mean that, you can start to basically like increase faith in yourself because you're choosing to believe something. So if you say, okay, well, now you see the sign and it inspires you to change your state, it makes you feel like, wow, money's coming, then that can actually bring you the money. And that's really all that signs and synchronicities are. They're kind of like little helpful things that are kind of a preceptor to changing your state. But if you actually want the manifestation, just seeing the sign and saying, universe, send me a ladybug if I'm going to win the lottery, and then saying, oh, wow, I see a ladybug, so now I must be winning the lottery. It doesn't really work that way. You still have to vibrationally match what you are seeing. And a lot of people get caught up in that. Well, I see the signs, I'm seeing this number, I'm seeing this and that, but my manifestation is still not coming. And that's because your vibration has not changed. Nothing outside of you can change like your vibration except you. You have to vibrate differently. And when you do vibrate differently, that's when your manifestation will come to you. Again, like I said, I asked for that sign for myself to know if I was going to be able to quit my job. The sign came, guess what? I was still working there for another few months. You know, I didn't actually change. I didn't actually get to the point to quitting my job until I changed my state, until I changed how I was vibrating. So that's just some food for thought, you guys. And obviously this is just my opinion. If you feel like, everything, the universe is telling me this and, oh, like I'm wrong and whatever, it doesn't matter because nothing matters. Nothing has a real meaning. It's what you associate that meaning to mean, So if I were you, I would make it think something that is, that's beneficial to you. If you think about the number 666, for a while, that was like, oh, the devil, that was probably like the first synchronicity that was like popular. And everybody's like, oh, it's the devil, it's evil. Even to the point to where when it was June 6, 2006, people thought the world was going to end, but obviously now we know that that's not the case, right? Like we can see that now 666 means something completely different. I think in the post I'm about to attach this, it means like just to reevaluate your thoughts. That's a lot different from, the devil. So it's just whatever we think, you guys. But that's what I got for y'all today. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. If you're interested in coaching, I'll have a link for you. And other than that, I'll see you in the next video.